Hola a todos, hoy vamos a ver cómo se dice to try en español. So today we're going to see how the verb to try is expressed in Spanish. Now, as I have here, there are different verbs which are utilized. To be specific, there are 3 verbs, right? And we are going to examine each one. Now, generally, the verbs intentar and tratar de are interchangeable, right? I haven't told you I haven't mentioned the context as yet, but that's coming. So, esperen. These are used when we want to express that we are attempting to accomplish an objective. Okay, so this is the most popular context in which we use to try. When we say try, we mean that we are making an effort to get something done, to accomplish something. Okay, so this is the meaning that is embedded within these 2 verbs, right? Intentar, tratar de. As I said, they're interchangeable, so they are synonyms, right? So anytime we want to say that we made an attempt to do something or we made an effort to do something, we use these 2 verbs. And like I said, the choice is up to you because they mean the same thing, right? Intentar, tratar de. But what makes these verbs different is that they have a different structure. And we're going to see that shortly. So when we use intentar, intentar must always be followed by an infinitive. Okay? For example, intenté estudiar, pero había demasiado ruido. I tried to study, but there was too much noise. Okay? Intentar expresses an attempt. It talks about the fact that I made an attempt to do something, right? Which in this case would be to study. So I tried to study, or I made an attempt to study, right? Similarly, we have tratar de, which needs to be followed by, before you even get to the infinitive, tratar must be followed by the preposition de, then the infinitive, right? So the de is very important because if we omit the de and we use tratar by itself, it can have another meaning. It can actually mean to treat, as in to treat a disease, or it can mean to address. So that de is very important. So tratar de infinitive, right? Traté de aprender italiano. I tried to learn Italian, right? So once again, we are talking about an attempt, right? In this case, I could also use intentar. I could say intenté aprender italiano. Same meaning. Likewise, yo traté de estudiar, pero había demasiado ruido. So these 2 verbs are interchangeable. And remember, they are used when we want to say that we are making an attempt to do something or to accomplish something. Right? Bueno, seguimos. Where it gets tricky is when we get to the 3rd verb. And this verb is probar. The verb probar is used in different contexts. As you see, there are 4 contexts, right? So the first context, to taste, which is to try, right? So when we say try in this context, we mean to try food, but really we mean to taste, right? Taste food, drink, what have you, right? Queremos probar el plato nacional de España. We want to try the national dish of Spain. So we need probar because we are talking about trying or tasting food. So when we say to try, we mean to taste. So this probar would translate in this context as to taste. We want to taste, aka try, the national dish of Spain. It would be incorrect for us to use either of these verbs because those verbs are only utilized when we are making an attempt to accomplish something, right? But in this case, we're talking about tasting. So we use probar. So at any time you want to express that you are trying food or drink, or you're trying a drink, you use probar. And in that context, it translates as to taste, right? En segundo lugar, to test or to check. Now, probar means, in this context, when we say to test or to check, that means we are testing something to ensure that it is working appropriately, right? El médico probó el equipo. The doctor tested the equipment. So that means that the doctor the doctor examined the various instruments and made sure that they were working appropriately or they were working efficiently, right? So in that context, we use probar, to test, to try, right? Sorry, to test or to check. So anytime we want to say that we are testing something, then we use probar. Muy bien. En tercer lugar, to prove or to demonstrate. So in this context, probar would be a synonym of demostrar. Natalia se quitó la ropa para probar que era inocente. Natalia took off her clothes to prove that she was innocent. Yep. So in this context, probar could be replaced by demostrar. Natalia se quitó la ropa para demostrar que era inocente. Same meaning. To prove or to demonstrate. And 4, to try on like clothes or accessories, right? Las mujeres se prueban esta falda. The women try on this skirt. And you would notice that there's a difference here. When in this particular context, probar is used as a reflexive verb. When we use probar as a reflexive verb, it means to try on. So try on clothes, accessories, what have you, right? And you would also see that it is one of those verbs that requires an internal change in the present tense. It changes, the O changes to UE. So we have las mujeres se prueban. Right. So these are the four contexts in which we use probar. As you see, they are completely different. So probar is completely different from intentar and tratar de. You cannot use these interchangeably. The only two verbs that you can use interchangeably would be tratar de and intentar. Bueno, espero que ustedes hayan entendido la diferencia entre esos verbos. Muchas gracias por ver como siempre y hasta pronto.